Hello Aries, this is Inspire 2016 with your weekly tarot reading for the week commencing the 13th of October until the 20th of October 2025. The first card for you is representing, how do you feel about yourself? Your card is the Seven of Swords. You might be doing something in secret, hoping that you are safe and undiscovered. Something goes awry and your secret is revealed to your embarrassment. This card therefore urges caution when attempting to use cunning or deception to gain an advantage over someone or something else. There is no question that there are times in life when it is necessary to act shrewdly or do something in secret. Perhaps you had to think on your feet and act in a way that was not exactly all above board. Perhaps you had to go behind other people's backs in order to manifest your desires. Perhaps you felt like you needed to cheat or take the easy way out. If acting shrewdly is something you must do, it is essential that you do this with a clear conscience and you are fully aware of the potential consequences of your actions. Taking the easy path is not always the best path, and sometimes you just have to exert a decent amount of effort to achieve what you want. You may be tempted to sneak away from a particular situation that is not working for you anymore, rather than dealing with it head-on. As you do not feel ready to deal with the issues, you are aiming for a solution where you can just escape and not have to worry about it all. Are you trying to run away from commitment, responsibility, hard work, or love? You may be procrastinating, letting problems slip and become worse because you do not want to deal with them. Sometimes you just have to face what has to be faced. So, the question is this realistic? Will this escape really accomplish what you want to and need to accomplish? Will it address the fundamental issues at hand here? The likely answer is no, and it may simply be an easy way out for now. On the flip side, you also need to be very cautious and wary so that you do not become a victim of someone else's deception, betrayal, cheating and false motives. You may trust someone who then turns out to be running their own agenda, leaving you high and dry. You need to be very careful of who you trust over these coming months as you are at risk of being taken advantage of. Look out for any sneaky behavior and trust your gut instinct about when something does not feel right or is too good to be true. Sometimes, the Seven of Swords indicates a desire to go it alone. You want to discover, investigate, and solve every problem using only your own wits and resources. You may believe that you have a better chance at success if you act on your own accord, ignoring the advice or inputs of others. This approach is useful when you need to bypass an ineffectual group or assert your independence, but it can also have its limitations. You may end up feeling isolated and excluded, missing that great feeling of collaboration and synergy gained when you work with others. If you feel inclined to act alone, be sure this isolation will really work for you. The second card for you is representing, what do you want most right now? Your card is the Eight of Cups. What do you want most right now is to ask yourself what you can do to bring a deeper satisfaction and joy to your life beyond the obvious pursuit of material satisfaction and/or physical enjoyment. You are seeking deeper meaning to life and focusing in on your personal truth. You want to escape from the rat race and pursue deeper, more spiritual goals at this time. You are willing to let go of your material possessions in favor of something more meaningful. Thus, the Eight of Cups is often reflective of the start of a journey of discovery, particularly on a spiritual level. You are disappointed enough to walk away from everything you have built up so far. It could indicate a disappointment in love or dissatisfaction with material success. It could also indicate that you have overextended yourself to the point of emotional exhaustion. Even though you have already come so far, you feel that you can no longer go on and your only choice is to walk away from the situation. You feel disappointed with yourself, but you know that this is the right thing to do before you completely burn out. You may also be feeling that you are giving too much and not getting nearly enough in exchange. The third card for you is representing your fears. Your card is the Five of Cups. You are afraid that a situation has not turned out as you had hoped. However, you are beginning to realize the full implications of the past, and you have come to appreciate the lessons learned from the experience. You may even recognize the value of the painful experience in the broader scheme of things in preparing you for later experiences. You are ready to pick up the remaining 2 cups that are full of the water of emotional growth and go on. This card is also about learning to be open and to take risks again. It is a card of a lingering sense of regret, nostalgia, and bittersweet memories, but the card itself speaks of being hopeful for the future, getting over whatever you need to get over, and of seeing the sun peek through the clouds once again. If you have suffered a broken romance, the Five of Cups signifies an end to the suffering, and a beginning to new loves and relationships, new interests, and new emotional outlets. You are starting to engage with the inspiring, creative and feeling side of life again. The Five of Cups is about values and knowing what you truly want and what will really make you happiest. It is about the hidden blessings that lie behind obvious disappointments. Sometimes disappointments are required to see through illusions and free you to find what is truly of value in life. Once you have made this transition, you will be free to embrace new opportunities. Sometimes, the Five of Cups indicates a feeling of being trapped in the past, holding on too tightly to the might-have-beens, and not being able to focus on the positive. The reversal could also indicate buried feelings of regret, that you are not allowing to surface and therefore they never get dealt with and brought to closure. 5 is also the number of change, and indicates an emotional destabilization that is intended to create change in how you approach your life. The fourth card for you is representing what is going for you. Your card is the Page of Pentacles. Now is the time to start acting on all of those grand ideas and concepts that have been brewing in your imagination. Now is the time to make them real. You need to grow and expand in a way that generates prosperity and wealth for the future. You are just at the beginning of a new project or venture that will require you to remain focused on tangible outcomes and results. Be clear on what skills and resources you will require in order to draw wealth and abundance to you. The Page of Pentacles has the desire to learn all things. He is dedicated to knowledge and the attainment of wisdom and new skills. He is devoted to all in which he is engaged, and he has great concentration in his interests and pursuits. Thus, the appearance of this card suggests that success will come to you after you have mastered new skills and have set your mind to achieving specific, tangible goals. You may need to consider further study, expanding your skill sets at work, or learning completely new ways of doing things. Do not be afraid to be the apprentice again, even if you are a master of another domain. Think of those 70-year-olds who enthusiastically start a university degree. The more skills you bring to your portfolio, the more goals and dreams you can achieve. Sometimes, the Page of Pentacles can represent a young person who has an entrepreneurial spirit. This person may be eager to attain wealth by pursuing a new business idea, by learning new skills, or by applying themselves to a new situation. This page might be young, but there is also great enthusiasm, commitment, dedication, and a strong sense of responsibility to see the project through. The fifth card for you is representing what is going against you. Your card is the Ace of Cups. You are afraid that you have to curb your emotions somewhat for your greater benefit. For example, ending a relationship may spur you on to wanting to cry for days on end, but in order to heal, you really need to push back the tears and fight on in order to retain a balance. Try not to let your emotions get the better of you or take an unhealthy hold of your life. Sometimes it is possible to express ourselves too much, and in doing so, share our vulnerabilities or worse, attack the vulnerabilities of others. Find ways to constructively express what you feel so that you can continue through life with a more balanced perspective. Alternatively, the Ace of Cups could also suggest that you have repressed your feelings too long and it is now the time to release them. You may have bottled up so many emotions that you have become almost void of feeling true emotions and instead feel a general numbness inside. You are withholding your emotions for fear of getting hurt. You know that in order for the relationship to move forward and flow freely, you must eventually trust in your partner, but for the time being, you are holding back. You may also be experiencing a roller coaster ride when it comes to your emotional well-being. There are so many ups and downs in your life that sometimes you do not know if you are coming or going. Life has become emotionally exhausting and now your energy is running out. You need to look after your emotional health. Be conscious about how you are feeling and how this may be impacting your responses and reactions. The last card for you is representing the likely outcome that you may have. Your card is the Ten of Wands. There would be the completion of a cycle after a period of struggle. You are finally reaping your rewards after investing a lot of hard work and effort. You have fulfilled a creative venture, realized a dream or accomplished a major goal, and now must deal with the consequences of that fulfillment. However, even with the achievement of your goal, there comes with it great responsibilities and commitments. While you have reached a point of completion, you are becoming starkly aware that you must now carry on with the responsibilities you have laid out for yourself, in order to ensure ongoing success. The trouble is, however, that these responsibilities may become too much to bear and you are struggling to let go. It is a bit like the business owner who creates a flourishing business but who is unprepared to delegate some of her responsibilities to the staff, and ends up working 70 to 80 hours a week. The inspiration and creativity that was associated with the initial goal or vision rapidly disappears, and everything becomes hard work all too quickly. Thus, it is incredibly important to let go of or delegate some of your responsibilities in order to free you up to still enjoy life. This is a reminder of how much we take on in our lives and all the extra burdens and responsibilities we weigh ourselves down with. We take on so much, trying to do all the things that need to be done. Thus, this card asks you to stop and examine your current lifestyle or work. Assess which activities or tasks are really urgent or really important, particularly in relation to your broader goals. You may need to employ various time management or prioritization methods in order to determine where best to spend your time and which tasks you can drop. Your goal needs to be greater efficiency, whilst also freeing yourself up for rest and relaxation when you need it. This card can also mean that you are being oppressed by outside sources. You are overworked, overtired, and overstimulated. You have more on your plate than you can possibly handle, and you have taken on too much at this point in time. In an effort to get to the finish line, you have found yourself overwhelmed with the extra responsibility and activity. You need to stop working so hard. If you cannot stop, then conserve your energy and pace yourself. When you are overcommitted, everything becomes a strain. Last but not least, the guidance card for you is the Raven. When the Raven appears, it's a sign of magic, where coincidence and divine synchronicity bring surprising elements together. The Raven reminds you that on the path to wholeness, the magic of Avalon appears and all things become possible. Ask the Raven to help you be aware of synchronicity in your life and to see how the goddess works anonymously on your path. If you feel hopeless or lost, you may need reminding that this kind of magic occurs in your life daily. Even if you can't see it, trust it to bring joy, understanding, and fulfillment to your life no matter what the present circumstances appear to be. Remember, the Raven says, Believe in magic and you cannot help but see it. Expect the unexpected and prepare to be amazed.
I hope that you enjoy everything, and if you like the reading, just please click subscribe and you will get instant notifications every time we publish a new video right to your YouTube. Thanks.